I used to think love meant sacrifice. If someone asked me 5 years ago what happiness looked like, I would have said my wife smiling, my kids laughing, and a quiet home at night. That was my dream. That was my purpose. Everything I did, every extra shift, every missed meal, every sleepless night, I did it for them. Baba, are you going to work again? Ian asked me one morning while I tied my shoes. I'll be back before dinner, I said, forcing a smile. You said that yesterday, he muttered. Zoya hugged my leg. Bring chocolate. 2 chocolates, I promised. Sarah stood in the kitchen, scrolling through her phone. You're leaving already? I picked up an extra shift, I replied. School fees are due. She didn't look up. You always pick extra shifts. I'm doing this for us. I know, she said, but her voice sounded flat, like she was reading a script. At work, Rashid leaned against my desk. You look like a ghost, man. I'm fine. You haven't eaten lunch in 3 days. I ate yesterday. You drank tea. Tea has calories. He sighed. You can't keep doing this forever. I can, I said. My family needs me. Does your family see you? I laughed it off, but his words stayed in my head all day. That evening, I came home late. The house lights were on, but the living room felt quiet in a strange way. Papa, Zoya ran to me. Look what I got. She held up a big teddy bear. That's huge, I said. Where did you get it? Uncle Imran bought it. My smile froze. Uncle who? Imran, Ian said casually from the couch. He visits sometimes. I looked toward the kitchen. Sarah. She stepped out, wiping her hands. You're late. Who is Imran? A friend. A friend who buys giant teddy bears? He was just being nice. I nodded slowly. Right. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling. The next morning, Sarah barely spoke to me. Coffee? I asked. Already had some. With who? She frowned. Why are you asking like that? I'm just asking. You're being weird. I'm tired, I whispered. You're always tired. A few days later, I came home early for the first time in months. My boss had canceled the evening shift. I thought maybe I could surprise my family. As I opened the door, quietly, I heard laughter from the bedroom. Sarah's laughter. Light. Warm. The kind I hadn't heard in years. I stepped closer. I told you he wouldn't be home, she giggled. A man's voice answered through the phone. You sound happy. I am. My chest tightened. I pushed the door open. Sarah turned instantly, eyes wide. She ended the call so fast the screen went dark. You're home early, she said quickly. Who was that? Just a friend. Imran. She hesitated. Yes. I forced a laugh. You sounded happy. I can't laugh with friends now. You can. Then why are you acting like this? I'm not acting. You are, she snapped. You're always suspicious lately. I'm not suspicious. I'm tired. Of what? Of feeling like a guest in my own house. She crossed her arms. Maybe if you were home more. I'm working for this family, and we didn't ask you to disappear. Her words hit harder than any slap. Ian walked in. Are you guys fighting again? We're not fighting, Sarah said quickly. Ian shrugged. Uncle Imran says couples who fight too much stop loving each other. I felt the air leave my lungs. He said that. Yeah, he's really smart. I knelt beside him. I love you, Mother. And I love you. I know, he said, but he didn't sound convinced. That night, I sat at the dinner table while everyone ate quietly. Did you like the pasta? Sarah asked the kids. It's okay, Ian said. Uncle Imran makes better pasta. I laughed softly. He cooks too. Everything, Zoya said proudly. Sarah didn't correct them. I stared at my plate. I see. Later, I found Sarah texting. Still awake? I asked. Just chatting. With Imran. Yes. Is that a crime? No. Then stop making it one. I'm not. You are. I sat beside her. Are you happy? She didn't answer right away. Why are you asking that? Because I want to know. You're overthinking. Please, just answer. She sighed. I don't know. That hurt more than any insult. Days turned into weeks. Imran's name became normal in our house. Uncle Imran this. Uncle Imran that. One evening, Ian asked, why don't you ever play with us like Uncle Imran? I'm working. He says dads should make time. I'm making time. You're always tired when you get home. Zoya nodded. You fall asleep during movies. I forced a smile. I'll try harder. That night, I whispered to Sarah, I feel like I'm losing you. You're being dramatic. I'm serious. You're imagining things. Am I? Yes. But she didn't look me in the eyes. Weeks later, I walked into the living room and saw a gift box on the table. What's this? Ian's birthday present, Sarah said. From you. From Imran. I swallowed hard. Of course. Ian hugged the box. He remembered my favorite game. I remembered too. I whispered. No, you forgot last year, he replied. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. That night, I stood on the balcony staring at the city lights. Sarah joined me. You're quiet. I'm thinking. About what? About whether I'm enough. She stayed silent. Do you still love me? I asked softly. She didn't answer. Her silence screamed louder than any words. I went back inside and watched my kids sleeping. I'm doing this for you, I whispered. I still believed my family was mine, even as something inside me quietly started breaking. I started noticing the changes in small, quiet moments. The kind of moments no one talks about, but they slowly break something inside you. One evening, I walked into the living room and saw both kids staring at the tablet. Hey, I said, guess who came home early? Ian barely looked up. Hi. Zoya waved without lifting her eyes. Hi, Baba. What are you watching? A video Uncle Imran sent, Ian said. He said we should try this game. I sat beside them. We can play together. We already played with him, Zoya replied. Oh, the word felt heavy in my mouth. At dinner, I tried again. How was school? Good, Ian said quickly. What did you learn? He shrugged. Stuff. Tell me the stuff. He sighed. Baba, you asked too many questions. Sarah put plates on the table. Let them eat peacefully. I'm just talking to them. You interrogate them. I'm their father, and they're tired. I nodded slowly. Right. The next morning, Ian stood in front of the mirror, adjusting his hair. Do I look cool? He asked. You always look cool, I said. He frowned. Not like real dads. What do you mean? Real dads wear jackets and watches. I have a watch. You never wear it. I don't need it at work. Uncle Imran wears one every day. I forced a smile. Maybe I'll start wearing mine. He shrugged. It's okay. But his tone told me it wasn't. That evening, Zoya climbed onto the couch beside me. Baba. Yes, princess. You're always tired. I laughed softly. That's because I work a lot. Why don't you rest more? So I could buy your favorite snacks. She tilted her head. Uncle Imran rests a lot and still buys snacks. I felt my chest tighten. Does he? Yeah. He takes naps. I see. She hugged me. You're boring sometimes, but I love you. I smiled, but something inside me cracked. Later that night, Sarah stood in the kitchen staring at the sink. Did I forget something? I asked. You forgot to buy milk. I worked a double shift. You always have an excuse. It wasn't an excuse. It feels like one. I'm trying my best. Well, your best isn't enough lately. Her words echoed in my head long after she left the room. The next day at work, Rashid threw a sandwich on my desk. Eat. I'm not hungry. You say that every day. I'm serious. He pulled a chair close. Talk to me. There's nothing to talk about. You look like a man losing a war. I'm not losing anything. Then why do you look terrified? I stayed silent. He leaned forward. Who is Imran? My head snapped up. Why would you ask that? You said his name in your sleep. I forced a laugh. That's ridiculous. Is it? He's just a friend of Sarah. Rashid crossed his arms. You believe that? Yes. You're lying to yourself. Stop. I'm serious. Something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Then why do you look like your heart is breaking? I stood up. I have work. You have denial, he muttered. I ignored him, but his words followed me home. That evening, Sarah sat scrolling through her phone again. Can we talk? I asked. We are talking. Not like this. She sighed. What do you want to talk about? Us. We're fine. I don't feel fine. You're just stressed. Are you happy? She didn't answer right away. You ask that a lot. Because I need to know. I'm tired of this conversation. So am I. Then stop starting it. I rub my face. I feel like I'm losing you. You're imagining things again. I wish I was. Days passed. The silence in our home became louder than noise. One night, I woke up thirsty and walked toward the kitchen. The hallway lights were off, but voices drifted from the living room. Sarah's voice. Soft. Serious. I stopped walking. I can't keep living like this, she whispered. My heart started pounding. Her mother's voice came through the speaker. Then don't. He tries, but it's not enough. You deserve happiness. I know. Imran can give you stability. My hands trembled. He understands me, Sarah said quietly. Then why are you still waiting? For the right moment. You're wasting time. I don't want to hurt him. You're already hurting him. Silence filled the room. Then Sarah whispered, Imran promises a better future. My vision blurred. I stepped back quietly and returned to the bedroom. My body felt numb, like my soul had left and forgotten to come back. The next morning, Sarah smiled at me like nothing happened. Good morning, she said. Morning, I replied. You look pale. I didn't sleep well. You should rest more. I stared at her. Maybe I should. Ian ran in. Guess what? Uncle Imran might take us to the amusement park. That sounds fun, I said softly. Will you come? He asked. I opened my mouth, but Sarah answered first. He'll be working. I nodded. Yeah, Baba's always working. I forced a smile. Have fun. They left the room laughing. I sat alone at the table staring at my cold tea. That evening, Rashid called me. Come out. We need to talk. I'm busy. You're not busy. You're drowning. The first time I truly met Imran, my children were already in love with him. I came home early again, hoping to surprise everyone. Instead, laughter echoed from the living room. Deep male laughter mixed with my kids' voices. I stopped at the doorway. A tall man sat on my couch, relaxed like he owned the place. Ian sat beside him holding a game controller. Zoya leaned against his arm, giggling. Sarah stood near the kitchen smiling. My chest tightened. Ian looked up first. Baba, you're home. The man stood quickly and walked toward me with a wide smile. You must be him. I stared at his extended hand. I'm Imran, he said warmly. I've heard so much about you. I forced my hand forward. Have you? He shook firmly. Sarah says you're the hardest working man she knows. Sarah nodded quickly. I told him everything you do for us. I smiled, but it felt heavy. Nice to meet you. Ian jumped up. Baba, look. Uncle Imran brought me a new console. Zoya spun in a new dress. And he got me this. I looked at Sarah. You didn't tell me we had guests. It was last minute, she said. Imran laughed. I hope you don't mind. I was nearby, and the kids wanted to hang out. I nodded slowly. Of course. Inside, I felt like a visitor in my own home. We sat at the table together. Imran talked easily, like he had known us for years. So what do you do? He asked me. I work in operations. Long hours. Yes. He smiled. That explains why the kids miss you so much. I froze. They do. I nodded. We don't see you much. I swallowed. I'm working for you. Imran chuckled softly. Kids don't understand sacrifice. They understand time. Sarah smiled at him like he had said something profound. I stared at my plate. During dinner, Imran told stories about trips, restaurants, and adventures. You've taken him out a lot? I asked. Just a few times, he replied casually. Uncle Imran took us to the arcade. Zoya said. And the cinema, Ian added. And ice cream, Sarah said softly. I nodded. Sound fun. Imran leaned back. Family time matters. My chest tightened again. After dinner, the kids pulled him toward the living room. Play with us. Ian shouted. I'm coming. Imran laughed. I stayed at the table with Sarah. You could have told me, I said quietly. It wasn't a big deal. It feels like one. You're overreacting. He's spending a lot of time here. He's helping. I didn't ask for help. You needed it. Her words cut deep. From the living room, laughter exploded again. Imran's voice filled the house like he belonged here. Later, my phone buzzed. A message from Rashid. Home. Yeah. Everything okay? I stared at the screen before replying. I met him. 3 dots appeared instantly. And he's perfect. Rashid called immediately. What do you mean perfect? He's charming, funny, rich, relaxed. And my kids adore him. Silence filled the call. I told you something was wrong, Rashid said gently. I didn't want to believe it. What are you going to do? I don't know. After the call, I sat alone in the kitchen listening to the laughter again. Imran finally left late at night. Thanks for dinner, he said warmly. We should do this again. I forced a smile. Sure. He shook my hand again. You've got a wonderful family. The words echoed painfully. After he left, I turned to Sarah. We need to talk. She sighed. About what now? He's getting too involved. He's just being kind. He's acting like he belongs here. Maybe he does as a friend. I shook my head. It doesn't feel like friendship. You're insecure. I'm worried. You're jealous. I'm scared. She crossed her arms. You're imagining things again. I walked away before my voice broke. Later that night, Ian knocked on the bedroom door. Baba. Yes. He stepped inside quietly. Can I ask something? Anything. Why don't you make us laugh like Uncle Imran? My chest tightened. I try. He plays games with us. I work a lot. He listens to us. I listen. He hesitated. He makes us really happy. The words stabbed deeper than any knife. I'm glad you're happy, I whispered. He smiled. Good night, Baba. Good night. After he left, the room felt empty. Sarah lay beside me, scrolling her phone. I feel replaced, I said softly. You're being dramatic again. I'm serious. You always think the worst. I can't ignore what's happening. Then stop overthinking. I turned away, staring into the darkness. The next evening, my mother-in-law visited. I heard you met Imran, she said cheerfully. Yes. He's a wonderful man. I noticed. You should be grateful. Grateful? He helps your family when you can't. I can help my own family. She smiled politely. Of course. Her tone said the opposite. During tea, she added, Sarah deserves happiness. So do I replied quietly. She didn't answer. After she left, the house felt colder than ever. That night, Ian sat beside me on the couch. Baba, yes. Uncle Imran is better at making it. I remember the exact moment my life split into two parts, before that word and after it. I came home earlier than usual again. My shift ended suddenly, and for the first time in weeks, I felt excited walking toward my front door. I'll cook dinner tonight, I whispered to myself. Maybe we can sit together like before. I opened the door quietly. Laughter echoed from the dining room. Real laughter. Loud laughter. My chest warmed for a second. Then I stepped inside. Imran sat at my dining table. My chair. Ian sat beside him, showing something on a tablet. Zoya leaned against his arm, giggling. Sarah stood near the stove, smiling like the moment was perfect. No one noticed me standing at the doorway. Then he fell like this. Ian laughed. Imran laughed loudly. That's hilarious. Zoya clapped. Show Papa again. My heart stopped. Imran leaned closer to the screen. Okay, show me one more time. Zoya tugged his sleeve. Papa, look. Silence crashed over the room. The word echoed inside my skull. Papa. Sarah didn't correct her. She smiled. I dropped my keys. Everyone turned. Oh, Sarah said softly. You're home early. I stared at Zoya. What did you just say? Zoya froze. Her eyes filled with confusion. I didn't mean. Ian looked down at the table. Imran stood up slowly. Hey man, we were just. I raised my hand. Don't. The room felt smaller. Heavier. I looked at Sarah. Say something. She crossed her arms. It was an accident. Then correct her. She didn't mean it like that. Then correct her. Zoya whispered. I'm sorry, Baba. My chest tightened painfully. It's okay. But nothing felt okay. Imran cleared his throat. I should probably go. No, Sarah said quickly. You can stay. I laughed quietly. Of course he can. Imran looked uncomfortable. I don't want to cause tension. You didn't, Sarah replied. I whispered. Really? She avoided my eyes. Dinner continued like nothing happened. Forks touched plates. Glasses clinked. No one looked at me. Finally, I spoke. What is happening in my house? Sarah sighed. Not now. When? Later. There is no later. Imran stood. I'll step outside. No, I said. Stay. You're part of the family, right? Silence filled the room again. Sarah whispered. You're being dramatic. I heard my daughter call another man dad. She didn't mean it. You didn't correct her. You're making a scene. I am the scene. Ian whispered. Can we stop fighting? I swallowed hard. Go to your rooms. The kids left quietly. The door closed. I looked at Sarah. Explain. You're never here. I'm working. You're absent. I'm providing. You're distant. I'm exhausted. You changed. I sacrificed. You disappeared. Her words hit like bullets. I laughed bitterly. And he appeared. He listens. I listen. He makes time. I make money. We didn't need money. We needed you. I felt my knees weaken. I did everything for this family. You did everything except be present. That's not fair. It's true. I whispered, do you love him? Silence. Answer me. I don't know, she said quietly. My world cracked open. He makes me feel alive again, she continued. I stepped back like the floor moved. Alive. I whispered. Yes. What does that make me? She didn't answer. That's what I thought. Imran returned slowly. I think I should leave. I nodded. You should have never come. He sighed. I never wanted to hurt you. I laughed softly. You replaced me. I didn't plan this. You enjoyed it. He stayed silent. Leave my house. He nodded and walked out. The door closed behind him. The house felt empty even though Sarah stood in front of me. I whispered, 5 years. What? 5 years of sacrifice. She looked away. I skipped meals. I missed birthdays. I lost sleep. I gave everything. I never asked you to give everything. I did it because I loved you. I needed a partner, not a provider. I nodded slowly. So you found one. You pushed me away. I was building a future. I was dying in the present. Tears burned my eyes. Why didn't you tell me? You never listened. I would have changed. It's too late. The words shattered something deep inside me. Too late. Rashid opened the door before I even knocked. You look terrible, he said quietly. Can I stay here for a few days? You can stay as long as you need. I stepped inside and dropped my bag on the floor. You ate? He asked. I'm not hungry. You haven't been hungry for weeks. I'm fine. You're not fine. I sat on his couch and stared at nothing. Talk to me, he said. My daughter called another man dad. He sat beside me slowly. I'm sorry. I keep hearing it in my head. You don't deserve this. I worked so hard. I know. I gave them everything. I know. Then why wasn't it enough? Rashid stayed silent. I whispered, what did I do wrong? You loved them the only way you knew how. That wasn't enough. He sighed. Sometimes love needs time, not sacrifice. I laughed bitterly. Now you sound like him. I'm not defending him. I know. The nights were the worst. I lay awake staring at the ceiling while the same thoughts played on repeat. Papa, look. The word refused to leave my head. One morning, Rashid knocked on the guest room door. Wake up. I didn't sleep. You need to eat. I'm not hungry. You need to shower. I don't care. You need to live. I sat up slowly. I don't know how. He handed me a phone. Sarah called. My chest tightened. When? Last night. Why didn't you wake me? You finally fell asleep. I stared at the phone for a long time before calling back. She answered quickly. Hello. Hi. Silence filled the line. We need to talk, she said. About what? I filed for separation. The words hit like a punch. Oh, I thought you should know. I appreciate the warning. I didn't want to surprise you. I laughed quietly. Everything surprises me lately. This is for the best. For who? For everyone. Are the kids okay? They're fine. Can I talk to them? They're at school. Tell them I called. I will. The call ended. I sat staring at the wall. Rashid watched me carefully. What happened? She filed for separation. He closed his eyes. I'm sorry. I knew it was coming. That doesn't make it easier. I shook my head. Nothing makes this easier. Days passed slowly. My phone stayed silent. I stared at it constantly. Finally, one evening it rang. Ayan. I answered instantly. Hi, Baba. My heart lifted. I missed you. I've been busy. With school. Yeah, and stuff. Can I see you this weekend? Maybe. Maybe. I have plans. With your mother? And Uncle Imran. The hope inside me cracked again. That sound fun, I whispered. Yeah. Study hard. I will. Tell Zoya I love her. I will. The call ended too quickly. Rashid sat beside me. You okay? I think they're moving on. He didn't argue. A week later, Sarah called again. You need to meet my lawyer. I have a lawyer. You need one. I don't want one. You need to understand your rights. I don't care about rights. You should. I care about my family. You should care about your future. I lost my future. She sighed. Please just meet him. I agreed. The office smelled like coffee and paper. Mr. Khan shook my hand firmly. I'm sorry you're going through this. I don't want legal advice. You still need to hear it. I just want my family back. He spoke gently. Custody, assets, visitation, these things matter. I don't care about assets. You will later. I won't. You're in shock. I'm in pain. That's normal. I stared at the desk. Will my kids forget me? He paused. Not if you stay present. I don't know how. You start by not giving up. I left the office feeling heavier than before. That night, I stared at my phone again. No messages. No calls. Nothing. Rashid sat across from me. You can't keep waiting for them. They're my family. They're also living their lives. I know. You need to start living yours. I don't remember how. Then learn again. I stayed silent. Days turned into weeks. I stopped calling first. I stopped texting goodnight. I stopped begging for attention. Rashid noticed immediately. You didn't call them today. I know. You always call. I'm tired of chasing people who don't look back. He nodded slowly. That sounds like progress. It doesn't feel like progress. It's the beginning. I stared out the window. Something inside me feels different. Ow! Harder. Harder can be good. Or dangerous. Depends what you do with it. I whispered, I'm done begging. Rashid smiled faintly. Good. I'm done waiting. Good. I'm done breaking every day. I woke up before sunrise for the first time in months. Rashid walked into the kitchen and stopped. You're awake. I couldn't sleep. You usually don't leave the bed. I don't want to stay broken anymore. He smiled slowly. That's the best thing you've said in weeks. I need a job that doesn't swallow my life. You need a life that doesn't swallow you. I nodded. Exactly. A knock came from the door. Rashid frowned. Who visits this early? I opened it and saw my neighbor Ollie smiling. I heard you were staying here, he said. Yeah, come in. He stepped inside. Rashid told me what happened. I sighed. Everyone knows. I know a company hiring operations managers. My heart skipped. Serious? Better hours. Better pay. Real growth. Why are you helping me? Because you look like a man who needs a restart. Rashid laughed. He definitely does. Ollie handed me a card. Interview tomorrow. That fast. You deserve fast. I stared at the card like it was a lifeline. Thank you, I whispered. The next day, I stood outside a glass building feeling nervous. You've got this, Rashid said over the phone. I forgot how to believe in myself. Start today. Inside, the interviewer smiled. Tell me about yourself. I hesitated. I'm rebuilding my life. He leaned forward. That sounds honest. I know what hard work looks like. We value that. The interview felt natural, like breathing after months underwater. 2 days later, my phone rang. Hello. We'd like to offer you the position. I closed my eyes. Thank you. Rashid hugged me when I told him. You did it. I feel alive again. You deserve that feeling. I forgot it existed. Weeks passed quickly. New office. New routine. New energy. For the first time in years, I left work before sunset. Rashid noticed the change. You smile more. I feel lighter. You sound stronger. I feel stronger. One evening, he sat beside me with a serious face. I heard something. About what? Imran. My chest tightened slightly, but the pain didn't explode like before. What about him? He's controlling. How do you know? A friend saw him yelling at Sarah in public. I stayed quiet. He doesn't like her going out alone, Rashid added. I exhaled slowly. I'm not surprised. You're not reacting. I don't have the energy to react. That's new. I'm choosing peace. A few days later, my phone buzzed. Sarah. I stared at the screen. Rashid noticed. You going to answer? I don't know. Do what feels right. I answered. Hello. Her voice sounded softer. Hi. Silence filled the call. How are you? She asked. I'm good. You sound different. I am different. I heard you got a new job. Yes. I'm happy for you. Thank you. More silence. I wanted to talk, she said. About what? The kids miss you. My chest tightened slightly. They can call anytime. They feel awkward. I felt replaced. I didn't mean to hurt you. But you did. She whispered, can we meet? I'm busy this week. You used to drop everything for us. I learned not to drop myself. Silence. You've changed, she said. Yes. After the call, Rashid stared at me. That was cold. That was necessary. You didn't run back. I'm done running. Days later, Ayan called. Baba? Yes. I miss you. My heart softened instantly. I miss you too. Can we meet this weekend? Yes. His voice brightened. Really? Of course. Zoya grabbed the phone. Baba, I want ice cream. I laughed softly. Then ice cream it is. After the call, Rashid smiled. You handle that well. I want them in my life. But not at the cost of yourself. Exactly. Another week passed. Sarah called again. I need to talk, she said urgently. I'm at work. It's important. I'll call later. You never used to say that. I never used to respect my time. Her voice cracked slightly. Imran and I are having problems. I stayed silent. He's different now. I hope you figured out. You don't care. I care about my peace. You used to care about me. I care about a version of us. Silence filled the line. I miss how things were, she whispered. So do I. Can we try again? I closed my eyes. I can't. Her breath shook. Why? Because I finally chose myself. The call ended quietly. Rashid watched me carefully. How do you feel? I unlocked the shop early because quiet mornings made my thoughts easier to control. Ollie walked in, rubbing sleep from his eyes, and said, You're here before sunrise again. I shrugged and replied, Sleep and I aren't friends anymore. He leaned on the counter and asked, Still waiting for the past to knock? I shook my head. No. I stopped opening that door. He smiled and said, Good. Because the future is knocking louder. I poured tea and muttered, I'm trying to hear it. He lifted his cup and whispered, You will. Tell me honestly, I said, sliding his tea forward. Do you really think this job will change anything? Ollie laughed softly. It won't change everything, but it will change enough. I don't trust enough anymore, I admitted. You don't have to trust it, he replied. Just try it. I sighed. I'm tired of trying. You were tired of surviving too, he said gently, but you still survived. I met his eyes and whispered, I want more than survival now. Then go meet my cousin, he said. He needs someone reliable, and you need a fresh start. I nodded slowly. Fresh sounds scary. Fresh sounds honest, he corrected. By afternoon, I sat in a clean office that smelled like new paint and possibility. The manager smiled and asked, Can you handle responsibility? I answered honestly, I've been handling responsibility my entire life. He chuckled. Can you handle peace? I hesitated and admitted, I'm learning. He leaned back and said, We pay well, we value loyalty, and we expect commitment. I replied, Commitment is the only thing I never forgot. He extended his hand. Then welcome aboard. I shook his hand and whispered, Thank you for the chance. He replied, Earn it. I walked outside and called Ollie immediately. I got it, he shouted. I knew it. I feel strange, I admitted. Strange good or strange scared? He asked. Both, I said. Mostly hopeful. Hope looks good on you, he replied. I'm afraid it won't last. Nothing lasts forever, he said gently, but that doesn't make it meaningless. That night, Rashid called me unexpectedly. I heard about your new job, he said. News travels fast, I replied. Faster when people still care, he answered. I stayed quiet before asking, Why did you call, really? He sighed. Because things aren't perfect over there. My chest tightened. What do you mean? Imran is difficult, Rashid admitted. I stayed silent. He's controlling, Rashid continued. Always checking phones, always questioning decisions. I whispered, That sounds familiar. He talks like he owns everything, Rashid added. Even her. I closed my eyes and asked, And the kids? They miss you, he said quietly. My throat tightened. Do they say my name? All the time, he replied. I sat down slowly and whispered, I don't know how to feel about that. You don't have to feel anything yet, he said. Just know they remember. After that call, my phone buzzed again. Sarah's name lit the screen like a ghost. I stared at it until it stopped ringing. A message followed. Can we talk? I placed the phone face down and whispered, Not today. Ollie noticed my silence the next morning. Bad news, he asked. Old memories, I replied. Did you answer? He asked. No, I said. He nodded. That's growth. I feel guilty, I admitted. You feel free, he corrected. I sighed. Freedom feels lonely. Lonely is better than broken, he replied. Days passed, and my routine began to feel real. Work filled my hours, and calm filled the spaces between thoughts. One evening, my phone rang again. This time, the caller ID read Ian. My heart jumped. I answered immediately. Hello. His small voice whispered, Papa. My breath caught. Ian, I missed you, he said softly. I pressed my hand against my chest and whispered, I missed you too. Can I see you? He asked. I hesitated before replying, yes. We met at a quiet park the next day. He walked toward me slowly and asked, are you angry with me? My eyes filled with tears. Never. Then why did you disappear? He asked. I didn't disappear, I said gently. I was